Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So much. Just a jam-packed show today. We got to jump right into it. First of all, Joe Biden has kicked Lee Greenwood, who wrote "God Bless the USA" off the National Arts Council.
What?
How has Lee Greenwood had any... maybe this is logical because I'm sure he hasn't been there. I'll bet he hasn't been present at any of the... Because isn't he still... Is the concert still going on?
Still
Pot
going.
up the concert...
Yeah, see, he's still doing his
concert
thing.
channel. There it is.
Yeah, all right.
Still.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I can see why,
That's in
time.
Morgantown, West Virginia.
That's where he is right now.
As he continues to sing "God Bless the USA."
Wow.
Now this concert started in 2002 for the very first Rally for America, and Lee took full advantage of his time. He's been playing ever since.
He knows we're not in Afghanistan, right?
I don't know if anybody's gotten word to him. He's been too busy singing. Maybe between songs. I don't know.
One of the roadies should probably get in his ear.
Yeah, I think so too.
So he was derelict.
Yeah, he was derelict.
And serving on the council.
And so Biden booted him off. I gotta say, I'm not sure I blame him in this particular case. Guy never showed up. Well, he's too busy with the concert. The thing was so long.
I'm so glad I wasn't there.
Oh my gosh, we were just
because it was hot too, right?
Oh, it was so hot, and it had been 10 hours, like a 10-hour thing, and we all the only thing we wanted to do was to go home. Every person, every one of the 35,000 people that were there, let us go home.
Do you remember we did one in Houston?
Yeah,
and I was in charge of inviting all the politicians and stuff like that.
Yep.
And Sheila Jackson Lee's office, the congresswoman from Houston, was not interested. I mean, it was clear.
Not the least.
Oh my gosh. And what happened, Pat?
She showed up.
She showed up after she saw how big of a crowd we had drawn there.
We had 20,000 people downtown Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And so who shows but the person who is the camera hog, I'll say, of the universe.
Oh, don't get between her and a microphone, which is exactly.
You'll be dead.
She pushed her way to the front and made sure that she spoke.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm.
Sure did.
Lovely lady.
But, at least she had the guts to stand there in front of a very hostile crowd, hostile to her, and, say her little piece and then got off the stage.
And to her credit, it wasn't that long of a speech.
Right.
She's not still speaking.Lee.
No. But is Lee still, has he wrapped up yet?
Done now? Can we get word to him that he's been kicked off the council?
It's been 19 years.
Yeah.
And still, no, okay. He's not quite done yet.
All right. Again.
All right.
Bro.
Not done.
All right. We'll check on him later.
So Lee was appointed to the National Council of the Arts by President George W. Bush, reappointed by Barack Obama, and by Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm. So he's been there a while.
But he was notified yesterday that the Biden administration will not reappoint him to the Arts Council. Biden administration has been relentless in purging conservatives from every government. But we're going to unite.
Yeah.
We are uniters. We need to bring the country back together. As long as none of you are conservative. Okay? So there you go. So Lee Greenwood off the National Council of Arts. I'll bet that breaks his heart.
Well, now he has more time for
he can continue. It doesn't have to worry about it now. Go ahead and... maybe he's done now. I don't know. Nope. No, not done yet.
Oh, my goodness. It's an extended dance mix version?
Mm-hmm.
No, I need to hear. I want to hear. Somebody make that. A dance mix version of
God Bless the USA. Yeah, that'd be good. You believe he wrote that in 1983?
I saw that in the article.
That's been almost 40 years. Almost 40 stinking years.
It didn't get traction until the first Gulf War in 91, right?
Well, it was somewhat of a hit in 83, but then it came back and it was bigger.
Yeah.
With the Gulf War. Ronald Reagan loved the song, played it at the 84 Republican National Convention.
Oh, okay.
Surged to the top of the charts in the aftermath of 9/11, of course, too. And so it's been a hit 3 times. 83, 1990 during the Gulf War, and then again after 9/11.
So is it fair to call Lee Greenwood a war profiteer?
I'm sure that's what Joe Biden would call him. We don't want any of those on the National Arts Council.
Oh, Joe.
National Council of the Arts, or whatever it is.
Big day for him yesterday, huh? With his generals testifying about him.
Sure was. It seems to be a little bit of a misunderstanding of. I bet we got his word as a Biden, don't we? That nobody said that to him.
I give you my word as a Biden.
Thank you. Yeah, we got his word as a Biden. Nobody said, "Hey, we should leave some troops there." I can't recall it. Nobody said that to me. No. Okay. Well, here's what the generals said yesterday. General Milley says that a terrorist attack on the U.S. is more likely now.
Okay.
A reconstituted al-Qaeda or ISIS with aspirations to attack the United States is a very real possibility. And those conditions, to include activity in ungoverned spaces, could present themselves in the next 12 to 36 months. That mission will be much harder now, but not impossible.
Okay. Well, I'll bet you Biden didn't appreciate that in the least. Yeah, I mean, if he knew what was going on. I don't know. Milley also said he wanted to stay past the 8/31 deadline, the artificial deadline that was set for nobody knows why. Why August 31st? Why is that so important? But Biden said no. So he was asked, well, then why didn't you resign?
I've got one final question. General Milley, I can only conclude that your advice about staying in Afghanistan was rejected. I'm shocked to learn that your advice wasn't sought until August 25th on staying past the August 31 deadline.
Oh, my gosh.
I understand that you're the principal military advisor, that you advise, you don't decide, the president decides.
Uh-huh.
But if all this is true, General Milley, why haven't you resigned?
None of your beeswax.
Senator, as a
That's what I'd say.
senior military officer,
None of your beeswax.
resigning is a really serious thing. It's a political act if I'm resigning in protest. My job is to provide advice. My statutory responsibility is to provide legal advice or best military advice to the president, and that's my legal requirement. That's what the law is. The president doesn't have to agree with that advice. He doesn't have to make those decisions just because we're generals. And it would be an incredible
I bet you felt the same way about
political
Trump.
defiance for a commissioned officer to just resign because my advice is not taken. This country doesn't want generals figuring out what orders we are going to accept and do or not. That's not our job. The principle of civilian control of the military is absolute. It's critical to this republic. In addition to that, just from a personal standpoint, my dad didn't get a choice to resign at Iwo Jima. And those kids there at Abbey Gate, they don't get a choice to resign. And I'm not going to turn my back on them. I'm not going to resign. They can't resign, so I'm not going to resign. There's no way. If the orders are illegal, we're in a different place. But if the orders are legal from civilian authority,
I agree with this.
I intend to carry them out.
Okay, but what about calling China and warning them?
Right.
Is that legal?
Yeah. Jeez.
China's not an enemy.
Yeah. What he said there sounded like a general. What he has said about the whole China situation, that's a different matter. That's completely different.
Yeah, he danced around that too as well. There's nothing unusual about him warning China, but
it's just okay.
Okay, right. Traitor.
Yeah, that's inconceivable. You
keep using the word.
Oh.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Then Senator Jim Inhofe wanted to know how many Americans are still in Afghanistan. Well, Jim, you've been told a million times it's less than 100. I can answer that for you.
Yeah, and Milley,
it's less than 100.
Milley just said he's not going to turn his back on the people there.
Right. So I mean, and even if he does, it's 100.
It's like a handful, right?
It's a handful of people, malcontents who should have gone a long time ago. Why didn't you get your ass out of there before this?
These are the people that you'll see running in the airport.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And you're like, oh, you didn't plan ahead, sucker.
Thank you.
Right? And you missed out. Like if you're on a Southwest flight, you get to sit by the potty with the crying babies.
Were you informed to be there 2 hours early?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, you were. Yes, that's what the airline said. Instead, you said, I don't like to sit there and wait.
Yep.
And now you're paying the price.
Right, now you're sitting in the back of the Southwest plane between two Jeffies.
If you make the flight at all.
If you make the flight at all, OJ.
So here's what he said about Americans, the handful still in Afghanistan.
How many American citizens, is it your opinion, are still there? Just go down the line, each one of you. Anyone?
Senator, I would defer to the State Department for that assessment.
Okay.
That's
State Department.
That's a dynamic process. They've been contacting the civilians that are in Afghanistan, and again, I would defer to them for definitive numbers.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Others?
Anyone?
Anybody?
Bueller?
Anyone?
Just same as the Secretary just said. There were numbers at the beginning of this whole process with the F-77 report out of the embassy.
Of course, Milley's not going to answer.
And we know that we took out almost 6,000, I guess it is, American citizens.
Okay.
But how many remain?
Okay. Do all of you agree that Secretary of State Blinken, when he made his analysis as to how many people would be here, but would still be there, he talked about the 10 to 15,000 citizens left behind, and then evacuated some 6,000. That would mean a minimum of 4,000 would still be there now. Would anyone disagree with that?
Well, it's 4,000 to 9,000.
By your silence, I assume you agree.
I have no.
No.
I personally don't believe that there are 4,000 American citizens still left in Afghanistan, but I cannot confirm or deny that.
You don't.
Senator.
Okay.
So you think Secretary of State was?
He's going to defer to the
analysis.
State Department, except on the number that's been presented.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to just say no.
Now I'm going to jump in there.
Wait a minute. You just deferred to the State Department. What are you doing speaking up now? Well, because now I'm trying to defend the the Biden administration. Biden, Bush, about the same thing anymore. Yeah. They're despicable. That's just the politics these guys are playing. It's not supposed to be that way in the military. Was the president advised to keep 2,500 troops in Afghanistan, though?
Uh-oh.
Because I go back. Maybe we should go back to his initial comments.
Well, do you want to hear them? Because I believe that he first asks all the generals, right? Mm-hmm. And I want you to hear this step by step here, and listen to this, Pat. Listen to how they just dance around on this.
Were troops supposed
General
to
Milley,
be left?
It's your testimony that you recommended 2,500 troops approximately stay in Afghanistan?
As I've said many times before this committee and other committees, I don't share my personal recommendations to the president, but I can tell you my personal opinion and my assessment if that's what you want.
Yes, please.
Yes, my assessment was back in the fall of 20, and it remained consistent throughout, that we should keep a steady state of 2,500, and it could bounce up to 3,500, maybe something like that, in order to move toward a negotiated, gated solution.
Did you ever present that assessment personally to President Biden?
He's not going to tell you.
I don't discuss exactly what my conversations are with the sitting president in the Oval Office, but I can tell you what my personal opinion was, and I'm always candid.
General McKenzie,
unless that
do you share
president
that
is
assessment?
Donald Trump.
Senator, I do share that assessment.
Did you ever present that opinion personally to President Biden?
Again, I'm not going to be able to comment on those executive discussions.
Did General Miller ever present that opinion personally to President Biden?
I think it would be best to ask him. I believe that his opinion was well heard.
Secretary Austin, President Biden last month in an interview with George Stephanopoulos said that no military leader advised him to leave a small troop presence in Afghanistan. Is that true?
Hello?
Senator Cotton, I believe that.
Whatever.
Well, first of all, I know the president to be an honest and forthright man. And secondly,
it's a simple question, Secretary Austin. He said no senior military leader advised him to leave a small troop presence behind.
Wow.
Is that true or not? Did these officer and
He's an honest
General
man.
Miller's recommendations get to the president personally?
their input was received by the president and considered by the president, for sure.
Yeah.
In terms of what they specifically recommended, Senator, as they just said, they're not going to provide what they recommended in confidence.
Oh, really?
That's garbage. What a bunch of garbage.
Is that your final answer, Lloyd Austin? Because
Okay, yeah. Of course they all recommended 2,500 troops stay behind, or that could bounce up to 3,500.
Well, we don't know that they told the president that.
But we can't discuss what they told the president. Just know that they made their feelings clear. But we can't discuss what was said between them and the president.
So then who did you make your feelings clear to?
Well, the janitor came by.
Is that right?
Yeah. He was sweeping up in the conference room.
Oh, I got to hear how this went down.
And
was he asking questions?
He knocked over an ashtray. And
wait a minute.
I said, "Hey, don't worry about that." And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just overheard you guys talking about Afghanistan." Uh-huh. And the janitor said, "What do you think of leaving some of the troops behind? Do you think we should? Because I would think that if we don't, the Taliban could sweep right into Afghanistan." And they said, "Well, no, we all believe we should leave at least 2,500 troops behind." So it was.
They didn't say,
but they did not say that to the president.
They didn't say. Speaking
because
of sweeping,
they all know him to be a really honest man, filled with integrity. You have his word as a Biden.
So the janitor was worried that the Taliban could sweep into Kabul.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And the janitor thought it could happen very quickly.
Yeah.
And he was right. Turns out the janitor was right.
Did the janitor clean up his mess? And what the hell is an ashtray doing inside a federal building?
I don't know.
That's a strange place. That's a hole in your story, sir. No, speaking of holes in the story, play clip 6. Watch this, please.
All right.
No one told your military advisors did not tell you, no, we should just keep 2,500 troops. It's been a stable situation for the last several years. We can do that. We can continue to do that.
No one said that to me that I can recall.
I recommended that we maintain 2,500 troops in Afghanistan. I'm confident that the president heard all the recommendations and listened to them very thoughtfully.
Gosh.
Oh, what? Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Oopsie daisies. Huh.
So it looks like during the course of the hearing, they did slip out what they specifically said.
So it didn't go to the janitor, from the janitor to the president. It went from the general to the president.
I so wanted to believe your story, too, Pat.
Dang it. Huh.
My goodness.
Well.
Whoopsie.
Nobody said that I can recall. Perhaps that's the key.
Yeah, that's your out.
That I can recall.
And honestly, that is plausible.
It is plausible. It is plausible. They told him over and over, and he couldn't remember. He couldn't keep it in his head. That I could believe.
Wow.
What?
I keep forgetting I'm president.
Yeah. See, he doesn't even recall that.
What a lion's sack.
So
of crap
how would you go about spinning this if you were in that position, Pat? Because that's a.
I don't think he has to spin it because the generals all had his back. Look, we're just there to advise. We he doesn't have to take our advice. We're just there to advise. And he's got I didn't remember that out that he provided himself.
Yeah, and it's a little more. Who are you going to believe, actually, on this?
Well, I'm going to believe the generals.
Exactly. Telling Congress as opposed to Biden telling Stephanopoulos? Oh, boy.
Yeah, but he gave us his word as a Biden. So why are you not paying attention to that?
I bet the press room was fun later in the day.
Yeah, well, wasn't it fun yesterday already? Mm-hmm. We'll get to that in a second. First, let me tell you about Omega XL. If you're in pain and you're sick and tired of it, it wakes you up in the middle of the night or it makes everything uncomfortable during the course of the day, please try Omega XL. Yes, it's all natural, and that's why your body won't become dependent upon it. You won't get addicted to it, but it really does work. This is backed by 35 years of clinical research, and it has what's essentially an off switch for inflammation. And once the inflammation goes away, so does the pain. Worked for me. I really believe it'll work for you. Give it a try. Just to get you started on your Omega XL adventure and maybe getting your life back, when you go to omegaxl.com/Pat and you buy your first bottle, they're going to throw in the second bottle for free. So you get 2 for 1. omegaxl.com/Pat. Buy one, get one free, or call them at 800-844-4888. This is Pat Gray Unleashed. So Jen Psaki trying to do a little damage control after the testimonies of the generals, Milley and Austin, telling Congress they did advise Biden to keep troops in Afghanistan.
The chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Milley, the head of CENTCOM, General McKenzie, and the commander on the ground, General Miller, all recommended the president keep 2,500 troops. So who and his military advisors told him it'd be fine to pull everybody out?
I'm not going to get in specific details of who recommended what, but I would reiterate a little bit of what I conveyed before, which is that there were recommendations made by a range of his advisors, something he welcomed, something he asked them to come to him clear-eyed about, to give him candid advice.
So he said, come to me clear-eyed. Come to me clear-eyed. And if you have any film over your eyes, then I can't listen to you. But if you come to me clear-eyed, then I'll hear it. I might not do it, but while I eat my pudding, if I like what you say, I'll do it. But if I don't, I'm going to deny you ever said it to me. You have my word as a Biden. So there you go. He was advised. He lied again, as he always does, and gets caught virtually every time. I mean,
and it won't matter.
It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
So that was the Senate yesterday, and the generals are in front of the House members today.
Won't that be fun? And, what are you going to get differently than you got yesterday? It's just a kabuki show. They're just doing it for theater. But at least we know now. I mean, they tried to skirt around the issue. They tried to avoid it. They tried to defend the president. But we all know the truth. They told him, hey, you need to leave some troops there because this is going to go sideways really, really fast if we don't. And so he ignored it, and it went sideways really fast. Jeez. Guy's terrible.
Yeah.
He's absolutely terrible.
That's an accurate assessment.
I mean, does anything sum it up better than that? He's absolutely terrible. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Did get some good news yesterday. Just a side note here on good news. Not on Afghanistan, because there's really not much you can report as far as positive information from Afghanistan.
I love good news, and it's like...
Here on the home front, and you're going to love this because, you're the way you feel about vaccines, really, so many of us do.
I hope this is really good news.
NBA star Bradley Beal actually stood up for freedom yesterday. How about that? An NBA star that people love and respect, and you can't say anything bad about these guys because a lot of them are minorities. So how dare you challenge them? Well, he was asked by reporters whether he was planning to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And he responded by calling it a personal decision.
Good.
Yep. Good answer. Good answer. The Washington Wizards star also took the time to ask vaccinated reporters in the room why many are immunized against the virus, are still getting infected. That's a great question, huh?
That's good. That's good.
So when you're vaccinated, you're not supposed to get this,
right?
Why are so many people getting it?
Remember how they felt invincible? They were like, "Oh, cool! I can burn my mask! Yay! I'm Superman now."
Yeah, not so much now.
Boy, there was a guy for the Orlando Magic who, at a press conference the other day, Jonathan Isaac. I don't know. I'm not that familiar with NBA players. If your name's not Trae Young, then I'm sorry. But you're going to love this answer, too. It sounds very similar to that because the NBA, the players are pushing back on this vaccine stuff.
Let's hear it. Cut 15, Orlando Magic's Jonathan Isaac.
14, yep.
Oh, it's 14, okay.
Yep, there it was.
And it goes a little something like
Jonathan,
this.
Josh Robbins with The Athletic. What is it about the vaccine that makes you hesitant
None of your business.
to get it?
I would start with I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic, and is still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID.
That's great.
With or without having the vaccine. I would say, honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is, anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision. And, loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
Like manna from heaven, that little speech. Like manna from heaven. Thank you for it, Jonathan. Jeez, that is so perfect. Nicely phrased and presented, calm,
with a smile on his face,
intelligent, not confronting anybody, just saying, look, I've already had it. I've got antibodies. You know what? Natural immunity is better than the synthetic immunity.
See, I would have gone,
get off me.
Yeah. See, if I'm him,
great.
I'm going the Marshawn Lynch Avenue. I don't want it. Next question.
But is that how Lynch did it? It wasn't.
That's just how he does every press conference, because he's required to appear in front of the media and answer questions.
Yes,
and that's how he gets by.
Still, that was brilliant.
I need a Jonathan Isaac Orlando Magic jersey now.
Yeah,
just for that 2 minutes of heaven.
Really, really nicely put. Bradley Beal also said, a lot like Jonathan Isaac, I'd like an explanation to, people with vaccines. Why are they still getting COVID? Like, it's funny that, it reduces your chance of going to the hospital, but it doesn't eliminate anybody from getting COVID, right? And you can still pass the virus along with the vaccine, right? Yes. So here are revered NBA stars, also minorities, so these aren't white supremacists, okay? These are not white supremacists trying to kill your children. These are respected NBA basketball players. Good for them for standing up for themselves. Jeez, I love that.
And so
I love it.
Bradley Beal plays for the Washington Wizards. So looks like I'm going to need a Bradley Beal Washington Wizards jersey too.
Yeah.
So
you can get a Wizards and a Magic.
Yeah. How about that?
And you'll be all set.
Yeah. I just love to hear this.
Meanwhile, LeBron James yesterday
confirmed
he's, of course, been vaccinated. But I think people were wondering, and so he had to play along. He had to be compliant. Good for him. Good for him for doing that. But you've got a little diversity in the NBA. Some guys have gotten the vaccine, some haven't. And the ones who haven't are basically telling the rest of the world, mind your own business. You want to get the vaccine? Go get vaccinated. You're not going to force it on me. I love it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
I don't think Kyrie Irving has gotten it either.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are some serious stars.
Now you're getting into names I recognize.
Yeah. You know Bradley Beal, though, right? I mean, he's...
let's see. Kyrie
he's a
Irving.
Superstar, man.
He's not getting it either. Now you're getting to some... No, I don't know who Bradley Beal is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I literally only know a handful. But I just love that they're pushing back. My gosh.
Me too. Thank you for that.
Pat Gray returns on the Blaze Radio Network.
Got some tweets here. Jeffy's Fold Mold tweets, guys, Biden is the great uniter. We are all becoming united in realizing how much Biden and government suck. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Can we get back to Jeffy's fold mold? Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
So many parts of your body have started their own.
No, we're good. No,
their own
we're
accounts.
guys, we're good. We're good.
Carl Smith tweets, Mr. President, did anyone recommend not launching those nuclear missiles? Not that I recall. Spunker 1300R, General Milley was really saying, I don't care how bad the decision by Biden was. My career is more important than civilian lives.
Yeah. It's interesting how he would go around Trump on some perceived threat to China, but he wouldn't go around Biden on an actual threat to the people on the ground in Afghanistan.
Yeah, and then he admits that, now it is more dangerous for us. There could be a terrorist strike within, 12 to 36 months?
Yeah.
So the next year to 1 to 3 years,
Cool.
he expects terrorist strikes on American soil as a result of Biden's screw-up here, of the catastrophe. Just out of curiosity, can we go back to the Rally for America channel and see if Lee has wrapped things up yet? No, he's still in the middle of it. Yeah.
Before he started this show, I was fortunate enough to see Lee at a show.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and I feel like it was extra special time because just as he was coming up on stage, the power went out and there was no music for him to go. So he was fortunate enough and kind enough to sing the song without music, just
you got
acapella.
Was he really? Oh, that's great.
Man,
That's
it was
terrific.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Terrific.
Yeah.
That's the word.
Well, good.
Good. So wait, I would like to point out that he's been performing there in Morgantown for so long that did you suggest Sirius XM has given him his own channel where it's just constantly feeding? Because you said, can we check the channel?
Yes.
Let's go back to Morgantown.
Yes.
No time, because we got to get to this. It is again that time of the week where we check in with Jeff Fisher to chew the fat.
Can we?
Can
we have to wait till it's over?
Yeah,
you gotta wait. Well, don't interrupt it, man. It's like Lee Greenwood. Just let it go. Because what? You don't like your theme song anymore?
No, I love it.
Be grateful.
And by Eddie Moore.
Huh?
Shh, we're going to miss it. All right. Okay.
Woo,
Did you say Eddie Moore? That tends to lead someone to think that I did like it at one point.
Love it.
Anyway, I'm proud. A little inside baseball, man. They worked on the air conditioning over the weekend in this building that we were told on Friday was going to get done. And, man, it is...
I bet you it's down to 92, 93 degrees in here.
I mean...
That's not bad.
Did we put up the solar panels?
Should I put it? I guess I should have put a hand warmer on the thermostat to keep it running.
Yes.
That's kind of how we go around the issue here.
It's,
it is not working.
They worked hard. Happy National Coffee Day, by the way. So enjoy your little brew today as you're enjoying your nectar of the gods. How much would you pay for Michael Jordan's underwear? How much would you pay? Give me a shot. Give me $10.
Wow.
$20, $1,000, $10,000.
I'm going to go $0.
Michael Jordan's. We're talking about Michael Jordan's underwear.
I got it.
It went up for sale at an auction. A lucky bidder?
No.
$3,340.80. A little less than I thought they would go for.
Really nasty.
Me too. That seems
but
are they Hanes?
They're the gray and black boxers described under as having definite use.
Oh.
Ew.
So
what is
the MJ wardrobe
all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad.
No, but it was from the personal collection of Jordan's longtime personal security guard and close friend, John Wozniak, who you saw him in the Last Dance documentary. It included personally worn coats, jackets, suits, dress shirts, belts, but the underwear is described as having a dry cleaning tag inside. Boy, that's kind of sweet. I mean, you're Michael Jordan getting underwear dry cleaned. That's good. And it also had his last name on the waistband. And it's about as close to greatness as you can get.
What in the world? Is it like when you go to school and you write your little name on your tag so that if you get separated from your underwear, they can track you down?
Yes, that's what it is.
Strange.
Yeah.
Strange.
South Korea's president has now said it out loud. Hasn't the time come to prudently consider prohibiting dog meat consumption? Now he's done it.
Are they
he raised banning the eating of dogs in the country. It's been a traditional practice that is now, according to this story, becoming an international embarrassment. Is it? Is it becoming an international embarrassment?
Yeah, that dog meat?
That picture right there is boiled dog meat. Doesn't it look good?
What are you doing to us?
Now the practice.
Get that off of there.
It's just dog meat.
Get it.
Apparently, the younger generations and pressure from animal rights activists have been mounting, and they want it gone. And the pet industry is on the rise in South Korea, and the president, Moon, is a known dog lover, and he's adopted several canines that are at the presidential compound. So he made the remarks as he was briefed on a plan to improve the care system for abandoned pets. And now the animal protection law now is intended to prevent the cruel slaughter of dogs and cats, but does not ban the consumption of itself. So,
Okay.
Everybody thinks dog meat's fine. I mean,
you don't know. You've never had
breed them. When you see the dogs, everybody thinks that Fluffy's getting eaten. It's not Fluffy that's getting eaten.
It's
they breed them like cattle.
Dog, even if it's been bred.
They breed them like cattle.
It's still a dog.
You are despicable.
Yeah, you really are.
Ugh.
It sums it up.
Yeah, get to your next story.
Speaking of animals, who tell me what to do? Speaking of animals, we know now Netflix is releasing on November 17th of this year Tiger King 2.
Oh.
Netflix data center, undisclosed location, March 19th, 2020. The world had no idea.
How are they going to do this when he's in jail?
Was about to hit.
My name's Joe Exotic. This is my way of living, and nobody's going to tell me any otherwise.
You cool cats.
Story so long.
This is missing.
Evidence, it's gone. What a story. And it got way bigger.
Alien people are nuts,
A
man.
phenomenon so good. So they're interviewing him in prison.
Wow.
So we'll see if it works out. I don't know that they recapture that.
November
magic.
17th, huh?
Right.
Yeah, but they attracted, according to Netflix, in the first 4 weeks, the original Tiger King, 64 million households.
Wow.
That's not bad. I mean, there's a reason they're going to come up with number 2. I know.
Huge. I remember everybody was talking about it.
Well, it was the beginning of the pandemic, right? I mean, it was
good timing.
It was perfect because it was the start of us being locked down, and it was just something to watch and be able to talk about online all at the same time. It was incredible. I mean, that magic probably isn't going to happen again, but you never know. The lockdown.
But he literally is in prison.
Yeah, here in Fort Worth.
So how are they going to do that?
Well, you saw the one shot of they were interviewing him in jail.
Okay.
So they,
So it's obviously from prison.
Yeah, I mean, they probably have a bunch of outtakes and stuff from.
And what they get him on? Was it attempted murder of his rival,
murder,
the woman
and
who's
then they
his
have
rival?
some animal cruelty stuff and some fraud charges, some other things. Yeah, but the attempted murder was because he,
attempted to murder,
but sent someone down. Sent someone down.
Okay,
didn't happen.
Yeah,
stop. And The Many Saints of Newark coming out this Friday too. I'm really excited about this. The Sopranos prequel with James Gandolfini's son. It's going to be in the theaters and on HBO Max.
Oh, it's his real son?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Plays Tony as a kid, and I really am excited for that. Actually, that's going to be really good. And I'm sure you caught it live, Pat. But climate activist Greta Thunberg and Vanessa Nakate spoke at the Youth for Climate Driving Ambition event in Milan, Italy.
Gosh, I missed it.
Well, it's still going on. It's going on through tomorrow, so you'll be able to do it.
Is the Lee Greenwood concert still going on? Is that still happening? If we could just pot up the channel and just check in on the Rally for America. Oh. Wow. He's found a new way to sing it.
Do we seriously have a CD in this building still? Is that a CD?
No.
No,
he was just on the wrong channel.
Oh, wrong channel.
Yeah, this is the channel.
Hello.
He's still playing. All right.
But Greta started her.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Just watch Greta because
cool.
just remember that it's never enough.
There is no planet B. There is no planet blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Yay! She said blah, blah, blah. Yeah!
This is not about some expensive, politically correct green act of bunny hugging or blah, blah, blah.
What in the world?
She thinks she's so
Build back
good.
better.
Absolutely.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah,
Green
blah.
economy. Blah, blah, blah.
Build back better. Blah, blah, blah.
Net zero by 2050. Blah, blah,
blah,
blah.
blah.
Net zero. Blah, blah, blah. Climate neutral. Blah, blah, blah. This is all we hear from our so-called leaders. Words. Words that sound great, but so far has led to no action.
They're only
blah,
words,
blah.
but
Blah,
words
blah,
are all
blah.
we have.
Our
Words
hopes
are all
and
we have.
dreams
To take your heart
drown
away.
in their empty words and promises.
Blah, blah, blah.
Of course, we need constructive dialogue, but they've now had 30 years of blah, blah, blah,
Aha.
and where has that led us?
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go,
Oh, this is
leaders
Vanessa.
fall over themselves to
And
say how they will
Greta
achieve
wannabe?
net zero
She's
by
a
such a
climate
date to
activist.
mitigate the worst impacts of the climate crisis. No more empty conferences.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's time to show us the money.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's time.
Time to
it's
show us
time,
the money.
It's time. And don't forget to listen to the most affected people and areas. Thank you.
Thank you. Yay! Pat, you're not clapping.
This is what they've done to these kids.
Absolutely.
Oh, nice math.
Okay, we got it.
No, that's the end.
We've absolutely destroyed this upcoming generation.
Yes, so many ways.
They're so out of control with their fear that we're gonna be completely extinct within 10 years.
Oh yeah.
That they want trillions thrown at the problem. They don't know anything about it. They don't know what that's gonna do. They don't even know. I mean, they believe we can control weather. We can't. We can't.
So this is still going, and then this weekend we have a second event, All for Climate. I guess that's for the adults coming up. And then last weekend, did you want to say what they've done? I mean, I'm sure you caught some of it. I mean, I actually did catch some of it. The Global Citizen Live event, 24 hours.
Sorry, I missed
of
that.
the global. To unite the world, to defend the planet, to defeat poverty.
I did miss it.
6 continents.
Darn it. Did it already happen?
Yes.
Oh, I thought
it was awesome.
I thought it was coming up. I lost track of time.
Oh, it was they have a recovery plan for the world. It focuses on 5 key objectives. And
the objectives are?
Well, we've got to end the hunger crisis. We've got to resume.
Wait, so by cooling off the temperatures and growing less food, that'll be a way we can curb the hunger crisis?
Got to resume learning for all.
All right.
Protecting the planet, ending COVID-19,
sure,
and advancing equity for all.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now Elton showed up. I mean, there was the performances by the artists was actually it was fun to watch. Elton showed up. Meghan and Harry were there. Awesome in New York.
Of course they were.
I just think J-Lo, Ed Sheeran, Billie Eilish was great. But my favorite, not only did we have to worry about the 5 key objectives from Global Citizen Live, but Lizzo was there and she performed and looked great in her leather suit. But she also promoted that she wanted to make sure that we're getting rid of and being brought to light institutional racism.
Blah, blah, blah.
And she was awesome.
So thank you so much
Ew.
for giving me the opportunity to give back. I have to shout out that the land we're standing on is Seneca Village.
Is it stolen land?
Yeah.
Before it was Central Park, it was Seneca Village. And if you don't know what it is,
Seneca Village.
that was an affluent African-American community that lived here in the early 1900s.
Okay. Where are they now?
And they were evicted and bulldozed so they could build this park. As we talk about climate change and making the world a better place and solving homelessness, we also have to talk about the institutionalized racism that happens in this country.
Thank you. Thank you.
If it's that bad, you should get the hell out. You really should.
And if
You
we
should
don't
get out
talk about our
and find a
history
much better
constructively,
place.
How can we
Lizzo's
build a
talking.
better future?
Yeah.
By
okay.
listening to you, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Anybody catch that? She says, this is Seneca Village, okay, where this is a affluent black community. Yeah, Seneca is named after the Indians that lived there too, Lizzo. Let's go back even further. Oh, I can't take it. Can't take it. I mean, then you know what? Shut down your stupid event. If you're so embarrassed to have it there, then go somewhere else.
Well, she's part of. She wants to give back now.
She's got a lot to give back.
Global Citizen Live event. It was fantastic. Really, it was so much fun to watch and be a part of. Quick congratulations to TikTok. 1 billion active users globally now. Congratulations. So what?
Are you on TikTok there, Jeffy?
Not under a name you would know. So what they were, never mind that they were fined for violating child privacy laws in the United States. So what? So what that they're owned by a Chinese company? So what that the app collects everything from a user's phone. It documents the phone's hardware specs, every app that's been downloaded, pings the phone's GPS location roughly every 30 seconds.
Trump tried.
So TikTok also knows which Wi-Fi networks its users connect to. It documents the address of the router as well as every other device connected to
Trump
each
tried.
network. So what? So what? Congratulations.
Just use it and shut up.
Congratulations to the billion active global users.
Right. Don't even think about any of those things.
Chewing the
I
fat.
apologize for Jeffy talking
Gray
about it.
Unleashed on the Blaze Radio Network.
Let me just share a few odds and ends with you before we get into the meat that we have left here, and there's a lot of it to get to. But I got to share this Russell Brand video because hopefully we have it, right? Do we have the Russell Brand thing?
I am not familiar with that at all.
Please tell me I sent that in.
Not to me.
Oh, no. Really?
And I didn't hear about it this morning.
Russell's been really good, though.
Oh, no, I can't. No, honey, no. No, please say. I guess I didn't send it. Well, okay, we'll have to wait on that, but we will get to that in just a few minutes. But also this Jen Psaki, we already had her babbling and trying to make the Afghanistan situation okay. Here she is complaining about corporations who have to, pay more to the government, so their costs all go up. I guess she just expects them to eat that cost.
Of course she does.
Listen to this. Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I want to ask you about what Republicans are pointing to in the analysis from the Joint Committee on Taxation. They say, according to, if I've read the chart correctly, more than 16% of taxpayers would see their taxes increase under the bill that's approved by the House Ways and Means Committee. Will the president sign that bill as it is coming out of that committee, or will he insist on the changes so that he will maintain his commitment that taxes won't go up on people making $400,000 a year?
I have not looked at the document or the report that you have put out. Obviously, the president, or that you have referenced, I should say, that the Republicans put out. Obviously, the president's commitment remains not raising taxes for anyone making less than $400,000 a year. There are some, and I'm not sure if this is the case in this report, who argue that in the past, companies have passed on these costs
in the past,
to
that's
consumers.
happened,
I'm not sure if that's the argument being made in this report. We feel that that's unfair and absurd, and the American people would not stand for that. But I will take a closer look at this report and get you a more substantive response. Go ahead, Jack.
They feel that it's unfair and absurd for companies to pass that price increase along to you.
We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. Are you?
What? You can't. You can't. That's unconstitutional. This is so. The reason center of their brain. People on the left just doesn't exist.
It hasn't developed.
It just doesn't exist.
I mean, that's the same mindset that 3.5 trillion is not costing any money, right? Zero.
Yes,
it's the same.
$0 is what they're saying.
Yeah,
because it's all going to be paid for in taxes.
Okay,
but not your taxes, because you're one of the little people. It's just these ugly, nasty corporations, evil people.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Don't worry about it.
Because we want the rich to pay more.
And it's absurd for them to raise their prices so that they don't just have to eat that cost.
Right. I mean, they obviously have never done anything in the private sector ever.
Obviously. So we're just supposed to make less money and be happy with it. Okay? And then if you raise the price of all the ingredients that go into making things, which, by the way, that's happened to us at the cookie company, Kexi.com, if you'd like. And so far, we have eaten the cost of that. But eventually, something's got to give.
Have to.
Right?
I would like to point out that one thing Trump got wrong was he said we'd get tired of winning. I never did get tired of winning, and I'd kind of like to go back to just one victory. Can we get one victory out of this new administration, please?
I mean, I would be happy with just understanding. if they could just understand the process. When people get hit with higher taxes or a higher cost of production, their ingredients, the things that they make their product with have gone up. They're not just going to lose money so they can keep providing it to you at a loss. It's absurd. Get out. All of you. Get out of the country because you don't understand it.
What about unfair?
Yeah.
Do you
the only
believe that
fair
it's
thing
unfair?
is for them not to make money. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That shows what communists, that shows the Marxist mentality.
It sure does.
It's absurd and unfair for them to pass the price on to the consumers. It's inevitable, not absurd. It's inevitable. It has to happen. My gosh, that's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. All right. The host of Survivor has edited the signature catchphrase to be more gender inclusive. I'm so glad, finally. I can't tell you how many. They got 41 seasons.
Yep, this is 41,
and they pissed
baby.
me off in 40 of them. And now I think they're finally going to change.
Well, yeah, I mean, they started the season with the phrase, and Jeff was upset about it, and he asked the survivors how they felt.
And they were upset?
And not in the beginning.
Oh.
In the beginning, you'll see in
so
this video they were fine. So
they didn't know they should be upset.
And they told him, no, you're okay. If that's the video that we have.
You have a video?
I don't. I thought you did.
No.
Okay. They had
a lot of good communication today.
They had. He asked all the survivors, hey, I always say, what's the phrase, Pat?
The phrase is, come on in, guys.
Come on in, guys. And he doesn't want to. Right. He gets tired of saying it.
Exclusionary.
And right. And
well, here's what he
asked
said.
them.
He said, love saying it. It's part of the show, but I too want to be of the moment.
Oh, dear heavens.
So my question to you is to decide for us, in the context of Survivor, is a word like guys okay? Or is it time to retire that word?
How about we retire
they answer him. They say, oh, no, it's fine. One person says, even as an LGBTQ member, I'm fine with it.
That was a queer woman who said that too.
I'm fine with it.
Queer woman.
Well, she probably feels like a
guy. They all agree, and he says, "Oh, okay, well then we'll keep it." Mm-hmm. And so 3 days later, they meet, and the one contestant, the one survivor, says, well, it was in the heat of the moment. My hair was messed up, which wasn't true. What? And that's what he said. He said my hair was messed up. I was sweaty. I didn't know what was the first day. And I do have a problem with it.
Oh.
And I do have a problem with it.
With guys.
Yeah, with you saying, come in, guys. So Jeff says, oh, okay, great. You know what? I didn't want to keep saying it anyway, so we're just going to get rid of it. So if he didn't want it, why didn't he just stop saying it?
What a society.
Bizarre.
What a
really bizarre.
Really weird time to be alive.
They're
going to drop the word guys.
Yeah.
So what are they just going to say? Come on in?
Come on in. Why didn't he just say that to begin with?
Come on in.
It would have been a story
out of political correctness? Could you not say, come on in, everybody? No, is that
Just
bad?
come on in. What are you
Just
talking
come on
about,
in.
everybody?
All right.
Oh, man.
Okay. Come on in.
Oh, yeah.
Guys.
I mean, someone would have caught, right? If he would have just started the
Stupid.
season saying, come on in.
Yeah.
Someone would have said, oh, my gosh, he didn't say, come on in, guys.
So I don't know whether I should come in or not.
How about come
Someone
on in?
had to go back
non-gendered specific.
Here's to see how many times
people,
he said it.
persons.
41 seasons.
It's just I can't. First of all, why have they done 41 seasons? How did this happen?
That's the offensive part of this story.
2 seasons a year, man. 20 years.
I know. 2 per
incredible.
year. I think I watched the first, and then I got it. I see what you're doing.
Is that Richard
I
Hatch,
understand.
naked dude on the beach?
Yeah,
That
I think
wasn't
it was,
the first one,
right?
though.
That wasn't
the first.
I don't think Hatch
That's
was
the one I
first
watched.
but that was the biggest one. I don't know that was the first one, but and I could be wrong. It might have
I
been
haven't
the first
watched
one, but
it
Hatch
in-
was certainly the first couple.
Yeah, Richard
seasons.
Hatch won the first one.
Okay, yeah, so that was the very first season.
So
But-
I've missed 40 out of the 41 seasons.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could
But
binge.
you
it.
said you
You'll
caught
catch
the
up.
one.
I could binge.
You'll get there in a weekend.
Yeah. What are there 9,000 episodes
Yes.
now?
In fact, you can go to the Sirius XM channel and hear every Survivor episode. It's one up from Lee Greenwood. Is he
Speaking
still
of Lee,
performing?
let's.
What's he up to?
Yep.
Oh,
Still
okay,
there.
good. Yeah.
It never ends with this guy.
At least we know where he is,
Yeah.
right? At all times,
Well,
we
he's
know
not
where he is.
He's not on the board anymore. I'll tell you that.
And a good thing, too, because
Yeah.
he doesn't make the meetings.
Thank you.
Pat, there's been 540 episodes of Survivor. You'll get there
Yeah.
quickly.
540. Is that the most of any series ever? That's got to be pretty close.
Oh, no, that's got to
That
be The
has to
Simpsons,
be.
right?
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe. Because that's, 22 years or something, too?
Hang on.
And they're
That's amazing.
a lot of episodes.
706.
Oh, wow.
Simpsons.
Okay.
Still though.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Also, Marvel might rename the X-Men to be more gender inclusive. So they're considering
This is terrible.
changing the name. When they finally introduce the beloved heroes into the MCU, Marvel fans will already know that the X-Men and the Avengers exist in the same comic book universe. However, due to film rights, none of the X-Men have ever appeared in any of the Avengers films to date. Now, Marvel has acquired the rights.
Yeah.
They've gotten them back to put X-Men in their movies, and there are plans to introduce them into the whole universe thing. But it is possible X-Men won't appear under the same name in an effort to be more gender
Yeah,
inclusive.
she was just being interviewed and said it was, talking out loud that it's possible. I mean, is X-Men done with?
What would you call
is
it?
it over?
X-people?
Or just X? X-heroes, whatever.
Can you use X-guys?
Oh,
no,
my gosh,
because we've
what are you talking about?
Whoa.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Right.
It is ma'am.
Okay.
X-ma'am.
All right.
X-ma'am.
Point of personal privilege.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
Okay, so Rob's telling me in Deadpool 2 that Ryan Reynolds made a joke about that. Do you recall that? Anybody?
I don't.
That it
But I'm
would
sure it's
not be
there.
X-Men or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah.
Foretelling the future.
Bum, bum, bum.
This is good, too. Democrat abortion bill protects transgender men. So that's good, too. The House on Friday passed the Women's Health Protection Act along party lines, basically, in an effort to codify Roe v. Wade into federal law. So the term woman, and women are used in this bill to reflect the identity of the majority of people targeted. The majority.
So this is the bill that last Friday Speaker Pelosi was all giddy about. She was celebrating. Remember, she had a press conference outside. It was like, hey, we're going to kill more babies. We're going to protect that.
Yeah. But apparently the majority of people are women who are affected by this bill. That's weird.
Really?
Yeah, I guess so. Because these are restrictions on abortion services, and they want to address squarely targeted reactions on abortion, which are rooted in misogyny. Left-wing activists have largely erased the term women from their political vocabulary in recent years out of fear of offending biological women who identify as men.
Come on in, guys.
Yeah.
Don't say that. Please.
What?
You know
Point
what?
of personal
I'm trying to be
privilege.
inclusive.
Right.
Please do not use gendered
I
language
can't win.
to address
So do we
everyone.
include the guys or not?
No, because then it sounds like you're only talking about guys, and that doesn't fix it.
I see.
Now, Biden's budget proposal refers to mothers as birthing people.
Right. We knew that.
Earlier this month, of course, the ACLU tweeted a quote from the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg, where they corrected her speech, women and her.
Yeah, they
with
came out.
People and their.
They said that was a mistake to change that quote.
You think?
You stupid idiots?
Jeez.
My gosh, you people suck in so many ways.
Shouldn't change the quotes of dead people. I don't know, maybe.
They figured out new ways to suck. It's unreal. Yeah, so anyway, so Pelosi was happy that, this passed and now we can be more inclusive with the baby killings. So that's good.
That's important.
Thank
It's
you.
important, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too.
Okay.
All right. I don't need to tell you that Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi are raiding the government coffers. Between the infrastructure bill, the stimulus checks, unemployment benefits, which is why nobody has any employees anymore because of the stinking unemployment benefits that are so beneficial that nobody has to go back to work. The Fed's printing trillions of dollars, and they're doing that overnight. 40% of all U.S. dollars ever printed. This is an amazing statistic. 40% of all U.S. dollars ever printed were created in the last 12 months.
Wow.
I mean, you say that like that's a bad thing.
I do. Mm-hmm.
I mean,
There's more for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Inflation is rising at the fastest pace since 2008, and this is nothing compared to what it will be. It doesn't take a hedge fund guru to understand the economy could be headed towards disaster. So, how are professional investors preparing for this nightmare scenario? Here's a spoiler alert for you. They already have. They turned to an under-the-radar asset class where prices have more than doubled S&P returns between 95 and 2020. Between 1995 and 2020, these returns have more than doubled. It's a real physical asset that isn't gold or real estate or anything related to crypto. And for the first time ever, everyday investors can allocate towards this $6 trillion asset class. More than 200,000 members have already signed up, and their wait list just keeps getting longer. So go to masterworks.io/unleashed. masterworks.io/unleashed. Previous offers like this have sold out in just a matter of hours, so don't wait around. See important disclosures at masterworks.io/disclaimer. Okay, masterworks.io/unleashed. Go there today.
Point of personal privilege.
Yes. Pat Gray is here, and he's unleashed.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Welcome, 888-900-3393. All right, I found that Russell Brand, right? The British comedian, actor, whatever. I've never found him very funny. But man, is he a left-wing douche. As a rule. However,
he's been pretty strong the last.
He has had some sort of awakening where he's actually finding out that things aren't exactly the way he thought they were.
Yeah, lockdowns, mandates, edicts, that's really changed a lot of people, mostly for the bad. But some people have wised up.
Some people, it's hit them right where it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hey, wait a minute. We're losing our freedom
This
here.
is America.
Somebody's lying to us. Yeah, he's discovered the lying liars who lie. Listen to this.
Seems like years ago that we were hearing that Trump was colluding with Russia, that he wouldn't have won the election without Russia, that his whole presidency was a kind of Putin plot. Well, there's now serious evidence that it was the Clinton campaign and Hillary Clinton acolytes that were directly involved in the generation of what has proven to be a conspiracy. Untrue. Think about how much media you watch. Me, a person who I would think, broadly speaking, is from the left, a liberal, certainly not a Trump supporting Republican, with respect to those of you that are, I find myself in awe, gobsmacked, flabbergasted and startled by these revelations
of sorts
that Russiagate was a Democratic conspiracy. Let's unpack that now with the help of Glenn Greenwood.
Well, we've already unpacked what I wanted to unpack. So, mind-boggling, though. I mean,
welcome.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
But where were you 5 years ago? How did you believe this in the first place? It's always been there. All the evidence is out there. We were telling you that it was a Clinton's conspiracy back then. But, bless his heart for finding out now and actually being honest enough to admit it.
But these are the stories, right, that
phenomenal.
That he maybe didn't even know, though, right? I mean, he went with the headlines. Remember we talked to Riaz Patel, right? Same thing, the stories of, he didn't know, right? He wasn't aware because that's not the news lane that he was in. And that's the same with Russell, I'm sure. And
I'm sure.
Now, yeah. And now,
how did he get out of his lane then? Where'd you get that information now?
I don't know, but for the past...
Interesting. I'd love to sit down and talk to him about it.
6 months, I think, I want to say something like that. He's really...
It might be because of the pandemic.
Yep.
He's a
realizing.
little freaked out over the oppression that's going on, the control that is happening. Whereas other leftists are just going with that flow.
Right.
They don't care.
It's about our health, so they need to do this. Hey, let's suspend habeas corpus just during the coronavirus pandemic. Hey, let's suspend the Constitution just during the coronavirus pandemic.
And it is about your health. Sure, we're going to go ahead and fire all the health workers that don't follow
and it's happening again. Was it 700 more in some location?
Yep.
A lot.
Yep.
I think it was like a third of their staff or something. And now what do you do?
Well,
hey, you already fired them. What are you going to do now?
You bring in the National Guard.
To do nursing?
I think that's what New York is doing.
That's the clip we played yesterday.
How's that going to help anything?
From the governor who said, even if your license is expired, we've got a spot for you to take, the place of these unvaccinated. In fact, she spoke again. We have a clip from yesterday that this is the one, Jeffy and I. This is one of those we know that your head will explode and you can't hear it before the show.
This is so good.
Because you will not get through this. Kathy Hochul.
I believe you will get through it because you'll be so inspired.
Gobsmacked.
But see, we position it right before a break, so they'll have an entire break to recover from this, because this is something else.
This is awesome.
Let's see it.
I prayed a lot to God during this time. And you know what?
What?
God did answer our prayers. He made the smartest men and women, the scientists, the doctors, the researchers. He made them come up with a vaccine. That is from God to us.
Pause it for a second.
Say thank.
Okay, right there, fascinating. Because who was at the helm of that entire effort that came from God? Who was at the helm of it? Donald Trump.
Name doesn't ring a bell.
No?
Sorry, I don't know who you're
apparently
talking
not to
about.
her either. She's completely forgotten that
As a reminder, as the governor of New York in a pulpit, the unelected governor of New York, by the way, in a pulpit.
All right, go ahead.
God to us. And we must say thank you, God. Thank you. And I wear my vaccinated necklace all the time to say I'm vaccinated.
It's a cult.
All of you. Yes, I know you're vaccinated. You're the smart ones, but there's people out there who aren't listening to God.
I hate
what God
those
wants.
people.
You know this. You know who they are. I need you to be my apostles. I need you to go out
You know
and
what? This is
talk
sheer
about
evil.
it and say
Yes.
we owe this to each other. We love each
Sheer
other.
We love each other.
But Jesus taught us to love one another.
Evil.
And how do you show that love?
How do you show it?
But to care about each other enough to say, please get vaccinated because I love you. I want you to live.
Pause
I
it
want
for a
our
second.
kids to be.
Can you imagine a similar speech using God in this way about abortion? What would be the fallout from that little speech? If, say, Ron DeSantis stood up and said, hey, look, we need to be on God's side. It's not, God doesn't get on our side. We get on his. And we're not going to be on his side until we stop murdering 1.5 million babies every year in this country. 63 million and counting since 1973. We need God's blessings. And we're not going to have them until and unless we stop that slaughter. What do you think would happen to him?
I don't know, but all I know is you're trying to conflate being vaccinated and abortion, and I don't like it.
And you're not allowing the unelected governor, well said,
thank you,
to finish. She's got marching orders for you, Pat. She got marching orders.
I want our kids to be safe when they're in schools. I want you to be safe when you go to a doctor's office or to a hospital and are treated by somebody. You don't want to get the virus from them. You're already sick or you wouldn't be there.
Wait, but
We
you're
have to
vaccinated.
solve this, my
so
friends.
We got to solve it.
I need every one of you. What? I need you to let them know that this is how we can fight this pandemic, come back to normal, and then start talking about the real issues that we have to. Fighting systemic racial injustice, which exists today. And if there's a denier, I will take you on any day because I've seen it. I know it exists. And we are not going to have a blind eye to this ever again any longer.
Shut up.
Amen.
Oh, she goes on to say,
shut up.
One of those.
We need disciples. Or what?
Only on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-933-93. Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I'm only here for the popcorn tweets. Where can I find Jeffy's intro music? No, really, I wanted it as my ringtone. We'll tweet that out at Pat Unleashed. You can get it there. BJM Golf. I would love to agree with Greta, but I literally only heard blah, blah, blah from her.
I love the blah, blah, blah.
She was so happy when she wrote that, too. Thinking
It's so smart. So sophisticated.
Look on her face where she's looking like, yeah, aren't I cool? I'm so cool, right? It's a good line, right, y'all?
Yeah, it's great.
It didn't sound like you thought that.
Yeah, it's great. It's really great. The Steve 42, this is how sanity dies to the sounds of blah, blah, blah.
There's no planet
thunderous
B.
applause.
There is no planet blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Thank you.
This is how liberty dies.
Exactly. Remember that?
For a safe and secure society.
Is that you, Joe Biden? Is that you?
So this is how liberty dies.
Thunderous
applause.
And absolutely no logic.
Blah, blah, blah.
No reason, no logic.
There is no planet B.
There's no planet B.
Shut up.
Yet.
And there is. I mean, we're working on that.
I know.
With Mars. Okay, that's what Mars is. Mars is planet B.
All of us unvaxxed can go up there and live in our society.
Yeah. And all of those who think that the world is already ruined and we can't get it back, and go to Mars and spend your time making that a better place, because we're all fine with what's happening here. I mean, pollution is way, way down. We've got the cleanest water we've had in the history of this planet, with the possible exception of when there was no living thing on it.
And that's even questionable.
It is. The temperature's gone up 0.9 degrees in 100 years. I mean, there's not a catastrophic issue here. Are there floods and droughts and hurricanes and tornadoes? Yeah, and there always have been, and there always will be. You can throw $100 trillion at the problem, and there's still going to be devastating hurricanes, earthquakes, and tornadoes.
Wait, I was promised utopia.
Yeah, you're not going to get that.
Why not?
Nah, it's hard. It's hard. Utopia is just hard.
Yeah.
I was promised utopia.
I know, but it's hard. So I can't promise you that. Dang it.
Whoever did promise you that was wrong.
Now, Colbert, is this a super, super funny clip from
He's so
Stephen
good.
Colbert?
He is a natural comedian, quite frankly. Right?
It's one of the
it's
top,
effortless from him.
Top night shows, right?
Top
It
night
is
shows.
the top night show, late night show.
How?
That doesn't.
I don't know.
That doesn't necessarily make it.
I don't
No, it
even
doesn't make it
remember
good, but
the last time this man made me chuckle.
I don't think ever, in my case. I don't know that I've ever laughed.
The only
at
time I
anything
see
he's
him
ever
is there's a few shows that I watch from CBS that I record, and so I see the when
Hold
I'm
on.
fast
Clips.
forwarding,
Hold
I
time
see.
out. I got a quick question.
Sure.
How many shows do you religiously watch? Like in the course of
have no idea.
On CBS.
On CBS?
Well, he says it's one of the few shows I watch on CBS.
NCIS.
Okay.
NCIS Hawaii, which is new this year.
All right. So that's 2 already.
Blue Bloods.
It's 3.
CBS. Just CBS here.
I think FBI, the FBI series.
So you watch 4 on CBS alone?
On
the
CBS.
FBI series is CBS too, right? FBI, FBI Most Wanted, and FBI
5.
International.
6.
I've been catching those, but I don't know that I really like the FBI's, but I want to like.
But
it,
you're going to keep watching.
That's one network out of how many?
You fast forward them when there's nothing else to watch. You just watch it. It's okay. Anyway, but I see the promos for his show.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, and he's good on those too, right? That's when I see it.
And those are the promos,
Right.
and he's terrible there.
Exactly. That's my point. I mean, he's just so bad. But he did this song because he's a member of the Vax cult, and he hates you if you won't get it. And so, what better way to get at people that don't like your message than comedy? Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And here it is.
What is
vaccine?
By the way, those are dudes dressed like that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
He thinks he's really.
He thinks he's got it.
Yeah. This is great stuff.
Vaccine. We're in hell. This is entertainment in the waiting room of hell. That's what this is. Oh my gosh. Kill it whenever you want, Pat.
This is what happens.
This is awesome.
Yeah, we gotta stop. This is what happens when you put ideology over entertainment.
Yeah.
That's what you get right there. Because it's so bad. But man, we drove home the vaccine thing, right?
Right.
That'll show them we danced. Okay.
Vaccine.
Still not getting it.
That's good. Because like you expect him to say tequila.
Right, but he didn't.
No, didn't do it. He threw you a curveball.
It's vaccine.
So he substituted a 3-syllable word for a 2.
Right?
Yeah, but that was still really cool.
You got it.
It worked.
You got it.
Yeah, it worked.
It was funny.
It was really good.
Curveball.
Funny? Oh, that was a scream.
He's good, man. He's a natural.
Oh, yeah. They loved it.
Yes.
They
Did you
did.
see the audience?
Yeah.
How excited they were?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Vaccine.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you didn't have to pay to see it.
I don't like this planet.
So bad.
At all.
So bad. And here's what happens when you show up maskless at a school in South Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, the police show up.
Police show up.
They're students. You're going to call DSS. You're going to call DSS for. Well, how come the kids can't be here today? I'm just curious. How come the kids can't be here today?
Yep, there you go.
How come they can't be here today?
This is Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. This is basically a suburb of Charleston. If kids are being turned away in Charleston, South Carolina for not wearing a mask at school by the police.
Yeah.
Wow. That means...
Well, because they have to be because they're murderers.
What do you mean?
I don't know if you're aware.
Whoa.
But the kids who won't wear masks, they're murderers.
What?
Yeah, check this out from a school board member talking about kids not wearing masks.
Where's this?
And that's a good question.
I'll find out.
All right, here it is.
All right, thank you. Board of
Norman
Education.
Public Schools?
Not a
Oklahoma?
report, but some comments. I'm one of those people that when I get very, very angry, it makes me cry.
Makes her cry.
I'm very, very angry
She's
about
very,
the idea
very
that children are going to be exposed to a virus 5 times more contagious than the one we masked everybody for last year.
What?
Wait, what?
I want to pursue the legal avenues that we have to defy Governor Stitt, and that's not how I like to pronounce his name, by the way.
That's clever.
I think if anybody's going to flee to virtual school, it needs to be the maskless. I don't think any parent with an asthmatic 6-year-old, 8-year-old, or 12-year-old should have to make that choice that their child can't go to school because some other kid is going to spread a germ that could kill them.
Wow,
Just goes all over me.
It goes all over you?
I would like to find a way to stand up as a district.
But you can't because it's
and
all
get
over
our
you.
surrounding superintendents
It's too
to stand
heavy.
up with us and protect our little kids.
Yeah,
It's insane
it is. You're
to
right.
send 5 and 6 and 7 and 8
5 and 6 and
all the way
7
up
and
to
8,
11-year-olds that
9
don't
and
have a
11
choice
and 12,
about
13,
vaccine.
14.
To sit in a classroom where people can spread a deadly disease and not even know they're sick.
Yeah.
and not even know that in 3 days they're going to be
Pause
sick,
it.
but they're spreading it.
Okay, so it's a deadly disease, but when people get it, they don't even know they're sick.
When you say it like that, Pat.
You're not even making sense. And for most of these kids, if they get it, they won't even know they're sick. The vast majority of them.
Yeah.
All right, let's see the rest.
Day, because that's the way it works, this disease. Just makes me furious that we're in this position.
Yeah.
If I were a parent of a young child, I don't know what I would do. But I don't think we should put our parents in that position. And if there's any way between now and the beginning of school that we can get this changed, I hope we can, because it's just not okay.
It's not okay.
For kids to commit murder by coming to school without a mask.
For kids
when it comes down to it,
to commit murder.
It's possible.
It's unreal.
They will cause a death of another child because they come to school without a mask.
Oh, shut up.
That's not okay.
That's not okay.
I don't know what we can do about it, but I hope it's something.
Yeah.
We got to think hard and we got to think fast.
What an idiot.
Thanks.
I mean, that's just, you're just brainless at that point. Just stop it.
Yeah, that's the school board of Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, the state where Kevin Stitt, I don't like to pronounce his last name that way.
By the way.
He's the governor.
That's just absolute madness. Absolute madness.
A freak.
They come to school without a mask, and they commit murder.
I mean, that's in essence what happens.
The hysteria over this thing.
How many kids have?
It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Young elementary school children that she's talking about. How many of those have actually
died
from
Isn't
COVID?
it 200 or something? 400? I don't know. It's a tiny, tiny number. It's less than kids who slip and fall and kill themselves in a bathtub.
What about fat kids?
Skinny kids?
No,
Skinny kids.
What about the kids who climb on rocks?
You pulled the string, didn't you?
Even the tough kids and the sissy kids. And kids who
chicken pox.
Who get chicken pox.
Yeah, there you go.
Love hot dogs.
Yeah.
And get the virus.
Get COVID.
And commit murder. I can't take it.
By the way, I thought that she's really concerned about the kids and the schools having the COVID and everything. I love this. Somebody tweeted out, it blows my mind that they haven't taken this simple step to protect our children at schools by putting up signs that read, "This is a COVID-free zone." Put that on school property, right? It keeps the guns away, right?
Right.
So, I mean,
yeah,
that should do the trick.
Okay.
Right?
I'm all right with putting up the sign.
Are you?
Sure, why not?
Well, of course you are, because it gets rid of the COVID. It knows it can't go into that
It's
area
a
if it's
COVID-free
COVID-free.
zone.
Let me tell you about ScoreMaster. Did you know even an okay credit score can cost you $100,000 over the life of a 30-year home loan?
What?
Yeah, $100,000 if it's just okay. That's why you should use ScoreMaster before you apply for any loan. ScoreMaster can take your credit score from okay to great fast. The average user adds 61 points in 20 days or less. Really good. Recent COVID surges will keep interest rates low for now, and adding 61 points to your score could save you thousands on a home loan. But those rates will go up soon, so before you apply, visit scoremaster.com and add points to your credit score really fast. Then you can maintain and protect your credit score with 24/7 credit monitoring and $1 million fraud insurance. Only takes just a few minutes to enroll, and it's so worth it. See your points, get more points, and qualify for the lowest rates. Visit scoremaster.com/Pat. Scoremaster.com/Pat and get started today.
Pat Gray returns.
That's a great television banner on the screen right now.
What?
I was just reminding people about Chewing the Fat podcast. So
the Chewing
the Fat
the
podcast.
Fat podcast.
Yeah. Just reminding them.
Reminding them what?
That they should subscribe to their favorite platform. And
where would I get it, though?
Whatever platform. You just go there and look up Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. That's all.
All right.
Just it's just a beautiful little banner on the screen is all I'm saying.
Okay. Let me show you an example of our fearless leaders and how consistent they are and how good they are and how much they care. Check out this photograph.
Yeah.
On the top are Joe Biden and Boris Johnson, and then on the bottom are Joe Biden and Boris Johnson in public.
Wait.
So in private, standing there arm around him, close together, no social distancing, no masks.
They're like 6 inches away from each
And
other.
then in public, the hypocritical, we're all masked up and social distanced. Look at that.
I've said it before. Biden does exactly the opposite of what they say you're supposed to do with the mask. It's unbelievable.
And when he doesn't think the press is watching.
Even with it,
okay.
I mean, even with it, when he goes up to people, when he was at the 9/11 thing,
yeah, remember the
he
kids?
goes up and he takes his mask off to talk to people all the time. That's not the way it's supposed to be done. If you believe that you're supposed to have the mask, it's supposed to be the exact opposite of what he does. Now, again, it's Joe Biden, and maybe he's just
it's theater. It's theater, is what it is. It's like, look at us, y'all, and then here's what they really do. And did you see when he got the booster shot the other day, that it was absolutely theater? It was on a stage, literal stage. You can put that picture up. Look at that. There's the press to the left. There's the little stage. There's the fake shot that he's getting. I'm sorry, the booster shot that he's getting. I mean, this isn't reality. They're not presenting reality to you ever.
How many Americans need to be vaccinated for us to go back to normal?
There we go.
What is the percentage?
I like this. The percentage is amazing.
It sure is.
Well, I think,
Look.
That.
I think we get the vast majority, like is going on in some industries and some schools, 97-98%.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that's reasonable. 97-98%.
But I'm not the scientist.
No, you're not.
I think, but one thing for sure, a quarter of the country can't go unvaccinated.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If we can get, I don't know, just 320 out of 330 million people, we'll be good. Then I think we'll be okay. If 320 million of our fellow Americans will get the shot, then we're close. Then we're close.
Just the first round, or
no, all
weekly?
Of it. You got to be. That's all of it. And then when we decide you need the fourth booster, then you got to get that too, and the fifth, and the sixth, and so on, and so on.
Like whenever we say you need it.
Yeah, we're just going to follow the science. That's what we're doing, is following the science. Even though the science hasn't necessarily decided yet whether or not the booster is A, necessary, B, effective. They don't know. And they just admitted that 2 weeks ago.
And the CDC, and that's the CDC director, Walensky or whatever, just disregarded that.
Yeah, they don't really care about the science. They don't follow the science. They want the control. Don't care about the science.
Yeah, apparently this winter, get ready, babies could become eligible for the Pfizer vaccine that they're hoping for.
Good.
So
well, they're attempting the 5 to 11-year-olds now, right? I mean, that's going up for. They want approval for that now, right?
Yes, 5 to 11-year-olds are trying right now.
Right? Yeah.
So yes, they're also talking about infants now down the road.
Well, good. I don't want them to be murderers either.
I don't either.
And you talk about 5, 6, 7 booster shots. Remember, Canada, Justin Trudeau made a big deal about the contracts that they've already signed to provide booster shots for Canadians for the next several years. So this is absolutely a big business.
Use them. If they don't use them, they can cancel the contract, or we can ship it to countries that have greater need. So it's not going to be for you,
right?
That's just silly,
right?
That's never going to end.
Okay.
Here's some interesting poll numbers out of Texas regarding support for Joe Biden.
Oh, he's good.
People love him here.
He's good.
This is really great.
Right?
Yeah. It's a Quinnipiac poll, but Texas only. Interesting. Do you approve or disapprove of Joe Biden?
No, disapprove. Were you asking
really?
me? Or were you asking me? Oh, okay.
Okay, you're one of
they didn't ask me.
You're part of the 61%.
Okay. Then. Oh, wow.
Overall, 32% to 61%. So he's underwater by almost 30 points.
Well, that's just like Iowa, remember?
Now, GOP, 3% of Republicans. 3!
Who are they even? What is that? Is that the I don't know guy?
No, 96% are disapprove. And then you got 1% who I guess, I don't know.
That's the
I don't know. That's the 1%.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Democrats, 83% still approve, 13% disapprove.
That's
wow.
To me, that doesn't seem right, but okay, I'll give it to you. All right, fine.
Independents, 25 to 66 disapprove.
Yeah.
Men, 26 to 68 is the disapproval rating. Wow. Approve to disapprove. For women, 38 approve, 55% disapprove.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the lies are coming home to roost, right? That's why I don't necessarily believe that. The 83%, no way.
Of Democrats?
Yeah, no way.
I don't know.
I mean, the lies are coming. It's just
look at Hispanics and blacks.
It's all about partisanship. Hispanics 37 to 55. So that's that's supposed to be a group that really loves him.
Yeah.
And they're counting on to be in control forever now in national elections.
Almost 2-to-1 disapproval.
And look at this, blacks. It's down to 56% approval, 30% disapprove. That's a huge number for blacks.
Wow.
Huge.
1 out of 3 blacks. You pick any Democrat president, and you tell them that 1/3 of them don't approve of a Democrat president. That's stunning.
It is.
That is hopeful. 81 million strong, though. Don't forget. I mean, boy, how quickly they changed their minds. Am I right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was
most votes ever.
Right.
Right.
And now look at those numbers.
Broke every record.
Man.
Yes, he did.
Keith tweeted out the other day, my friend Paul, who lives in Nebraska, received another text from the local Democrat Party.
Yeah, we've done these before. We love
Paul, some great tweets. Because he seems to be on a bunch of Democrat lists, and they keep sending him stuff.
Yeah, this person thought they were texting someone named Taylor.
So in this case, hi, Taylor. Jim with Neb Dems.
Neb Dems.
We cannot, that's Nebraska Democrats, for sure. We cannot elect Democrats without you. Text yes to get texts about local elections and help us win.
All right.
So Paul responds for Taylor. Gee, that sounds fantastic, Jim. I really like what the Democrats are doing nationally with diversity in elected offices. I'm old enough to remember when racist, cis-normative white America restricted opportunities for cognitively challenged octogenarians. But look at us now. We have knowingly elected our first president with dementia. And look at the success that's inevitably followed.
Right.
Border crisis, an Afghan debacle, and rising prices, just to name a few. So yes, please send me any material you can so I can enable the same enlightened Democrat thinking on a local level. Because at this point, why not?
I'm surprised there's no emojis. I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, right?
Then he tweets, wait, what I meant to say, I'd rather die in a house fire than help the Nebraska dumbs. Please remove me from whatever list you pulled my number. Great stuff.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, and then Paul mentioned to me, he's like, maybe I shouldn't have gone with house fire because I don't put it past the Democrats to actually do that to us.
No kidding. Jeez.
Good times, right?
Good times.
Great times.
Yes.
I think the times are great right now. I mean, how could they be any better? Could they be? I'm going to say no.
I can't imagine a world where they are.
No.
Tell you that.
We got a hamster that's been trading cryptocurrencies in a cage, rigged to automatically buy and sell tokens since June.
This is awesome.
All right.
So they put a hamster in a cage, and whatever he does certain things, and it tells him what to
look at his rate of
invest in.
return. Look at his rate of return.
So the hamster's rate of return,
Mr. Gox,
Look at that.
is better than
Bitcoin.
Anybody else.
Right?
It's better than Bitcoin. Way better than the NASDAQ 100 in general, the S&P 500, ARK Innovation way down, Berkshire Hathaway, and banks.
Look
at that.
You could factually say a hamster is better at picking future stocks and investments than Warren Buffett.
Well, at least this hamster.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We can lump every hamster together.
That is a fair point you make.
Yeah, you don't want to stereotype hamsters.
Right.
You really don't. Apparently, the hamster determines which crypto to buy or sell by running on a wheel and then strolling through one of the 2 tunnels. And that's working better than Berkshire Hathaway.
I mean, we should try that with the presidency.
Yeah, right?
Yes! Let's elect a hamster over this
We'll
guy.
see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.